First of all, the New York Times did a story about Birmingham as the most segregated city in the, and it painted a very ugly picture of Birmingham. The Birmingham newspapers attacked the New York Times, saying it's not true, we have a lovely city and there's harmony. So Murrow went down with 2 camera crews to do a documentary called Who Speaks for Birmingham? And as soon as he arrived, John Kennedy offered him the job of being the head of the USIA. Well, I think Murrow was terminally sick of CBS. He'd had so much trouble, and so he grabbed it. But he phoned me and said, "You've got to come and do this documentary." So I went down and did the documentary, and it was highly controversial. There was a race riot, a conspiracy of the police with the Ku Klux Klan to attack the Freedom Riders when they arrived in town. It was the most horrible thing I've seen since the opening of the concentration camps in World War II. And I reported on this conspiracy, and the local station disaffiliated from CBS. The city of Birmingham sued CBS for several $1,000,000. And I was greeted with coldness when I returned, and I was suspended from my job as chief Washington correspondent.
By whom?
I could go in at night when everybody had gone and work with a dictaphone to do my business.
Who suspended you?
Blair Clark. Richard Salant had become news director, and his assistant was Blair Clark. Blair Clark was a personal friend, so this came as a shock. They did, on any other medium, I would have received applause, a nice telegram saying what a great job you did. My broadcast from Birmingham appeared verbatim on the front page of the New York Times.
It's a classic in television news.
Yeah, and but there, CBS, that was too much. They couldn't take it. So I've completed the documentary. They cut out an awful lot of what I put in, but it was done. And then Paley invited me to lunch in his office with Stanton and Blair Clark and Salant, and he fired me. He said, this is not the kind of stuff we allow on our network. You know you're violating the rules. I said, I know I am, but the rules are impossible to follow in this case. One side is constitutional here, and one side is not. The black people happen to be right. The whites in the South happen to be wrong. What do I do in that case? He said, you can't do what you've been doing. So I said, thank you. I got up and left the room, and I was through.
What happened to your contract?
Murrow said, didn't they give you one of those unbreakable contracts? I said, they sure did. He said, we'll sue them. Yeah, I'll swear to anything you say. Sue them. Well, I had agreed to the breach because I'd gotten up and walked out, so I didn't have a leg to stand on.